Crypto marketing strategies for Twitter. So today we're going to be covering these in tons of detail. Make sure that you stick around to the end because we're going to be giving away a $2,000 worth of value giveaway to all the people that stuck around to the end and entered. Let's dive into it. Let's do it, guys. Alright guys, so before we dive in, I just quickly want to touch on who I am in case you don't have any idea who you're listening to right now. My name is Tyler Mullins. I'm the founder of Omni Agency. We are a crypto blockchain-based community management and community nurturement agency. We specialize in the blockchain space. This is our bread and butter and this is what we do. So we've helped projects grow from 0 to 10,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 community members. We've helped them take those community members, convert them into actual customers. We've helped them to grow their engagement from 0 to 15 to 20% in a very short amount of time. And we've even helped projects raise $5 million in their beta and alpha phase. So let's dive into crypto marketing strategies. So to begin, why is Twitter important for a crypto project? I think this is the foundation that we need to build from here. First off, Twitter is your voice. If you're a brand, you need to get your voice out there. You need to put your opinion out there, and you need to make sure that you're heard as a brand. The community on Twitter for crypto is huge. It's bigger than any other social platform out there. And in terms of the social media's importance in building, nurturing, and converting your audience, social media plays a fundamental, critical role in that, honestly. When it comes to being able to grow an audience behind your project, nurture that audience through the content that you put out there, the specific goals that that content is pursuing, and then converting your audience through call to actions, incentivized target activations, tiering out your community. The list really goes on. You're not going to be able to effectively do this as well as you can do it on social media, nor is it going to build the social proof or presence for your brand that building it on a public facing platform like Twitter, for example, is going to be able to provide you. And the list really goes on, but we'll leave it there as the main value propositions for Twitter for a crypto project. So in terms of the different ways to a crypto marketing strategy on Twitter, there's really two different avenues that you want to be looking at. One is going to be the organic, authentic avenue. The other one is going to be the more of the perception or paid avenue. So on the organic push side of things, this is really split into two different categories: the on-page and inbound management. Okay, so there's really two different categories. There's going to be the organic and paid vehicles for driving growth. Each of these have different KPIs that you're going to be wanting to focus on. In terms of the organic vehicles for driving community growth, organic is a very slow growth practice. A lot of people don't actually recognize the amount of time that it takes to grow an organic community behind your project, especially if you're not doing any investments on the marketing side to get your brand more brand awareness, to acquire more customers. Basically, if you're only focusing on organic, make sure that you're locked in it for the long run. You're ready to grind this out. And not only that, you're looking to leverage other connections and relationships that you have to grow your project. You're not here to listen to me talk about where you're trying to go with your project. You're here to listen to me talk about organic strategies to grow your project. So let me start there. In terms of the organic side of things, before we dive into the specific tactics that you can use to grow your project, first it's important that we make sure that we have that, again, foundation in place on your social media account. Right off the bat, you want to make sure you have a branding strategy. This branding strategy should include things such as your brand voice, your brand themes. The themes are basically the consistent content pieces and categories that you're going to be putting content out around. This could be educational, this could be project news, this could be industry news, this could be community related. The list really goes on there. You want to have a nice diversity in it though, for sure. The voice is the way in which you're articulating those themes to your audience. And then you also want to make sure that you have a nice account optimization in place. This is going to make this on Twitter specifically typically only comes down to your banner and your bio. Your banner should be supportive of the social account or the key action that you're looking to take. Your bio should basically include a hook, something that draws that audience in, education as to what your project is about, and then it also should include a call to action on the key activation that you're looking for your audience to take. So that could be follow, that could be join the Discord. List really goes on. At the end of the day, it should be short, concise, give me a clear understanding of what your account's about as soon as I land on the page and read it. And then the last thing here is the social content, making sure that you have a nice, strong, robust social content strategy in place. You've taken a look at competitors. You understand what content they put out that performs well. Twitter has a great advanced search functionality. I won't get into it right now, but if you're not aware of this advanced search functionality, when you're analyzing your competitors, it's going to really help you take that competitor analysis to the next level. And then the social content should be geared towards, again, specific objectives. So if you find that your project really requires your audience to have a ton of trust in you, or there's a huge technical hurdle to understanding your project, then you should be putting out content that's geared towards those objectives, building education, trust, and rapport with your audience. Let's dive into the organic strategies now to grow your community. So there are numerous strategies on the organic side of things that you can do to grow your community. A couple of the strategies that Omni leverages in order to grow a community are, one, social content and optimizations on that social content, the hashtags that you're using, the content itself, the wording within the content to try and get people to engage. Basically, what you're trying to do with your content is try and drive engagement. You're trying to organically drive as much reach as you can. This could be either using effective hashtags, hopping on trends, using ticker symbols, different options out there available for, again, getting your content in front of as many people as possible, driving those impressions up. Besides the content, which isn't really going to make a huge difference in the growth that your community is experiencing, there's other tactics. A really popular one right now that's performing great for us is Twitter Spaces. If you're the founder of a project, if you're a decision maker within a project and you have additional time on your hands, which I know it's rare, doesn't happen too often, then one, make that time, because this is important. Twitter Spaces is a very effective way to, one, build relationships that you can then leverage to amplify your content, and to also call on for giveaways, competitions, partnerships, collabs in the future. But two, getting in front of people, being able to verbally articulate to them your business model, tell them what's going on, tell them what you're doing, and tell them why you're different is very impactful. And no matter what content you put out there, if you get that screen time with somebody and you resonate with that individual, that's going to be very effective for converting that person into a community member. Make sure that you're giving call to actions in these Twitter Spaces. We recommend that these decision makers go out to 1 to 2, if they can, up to 3 Twitter Spaces on a daily basis in order to get involved in conversations, getting in front of those people, build those business relationships, that in the future, when you feel you have enough of a platform in order to start your own Twitter Spaces, we would recommend rolling out your own Twitter Space on a reoccurrent time. For your own Twitter Space, the main things that you want to be looking at are the reoccurrent time, getting guests out to that Twitter Spaces, encouraging people when they're in the Twitter Spaces to retweet the content. And then you have about, I think it's 20 characters to work with on the title of your Twitter Space. You want to have a real nice hook and punch in that Twitter Space to really draw the audience in. And then from there, it's just amplifying it. Maybe you give a giveaway to people that come out to the Twitter Space and to retweet it. You want to try and get it in front of as many people that fit your target persona as possible. That's Twitter Spaces. Another way in which we go about growing projects is called community engagement. Community engagement is the act of finding comparable or competitive projects in the space, finding the people that engage with their content consistently, and then you as a brand engage with those individuals. You provide value, you leave comments, you participate in conversation with the main objective of expanding that conversation and driving them back to your Twitter account. This can be effective, but again, slow growth vehicle. I wouldn't expect a ton of growth from this on a month-over-month basis. But as we start adding up these different tactics we use, you can really start to get a grasp on the authentic growth and organic growth that you can derive from these tactics. In addition to community engagement, a similar tactic is called personalized mass DM. So this is the act of, again, comparable competitor projects, all their followers. What you want to do is you want to create a scripted message, use a personalized input within that message. So maybe you personalize their name, you personalize something about their account, something that's unique to that individual, and then you go about DMing all those people. One thing to make sure of is that you're doing it from basically not your main account, because Twitter does have spam regulations and rules in place which prohibit you from doing a lot of volume of DMs. And then also additionally, there is volume restrictions. So you can't start by sending 1,000 messages a day. You need to warm up that account, which is basically a little bit of a complex process, but it's sending DMs, replying to those DMs, going back and forth, getting your account warmed up, and then you move forward with the personalized mass DMs. Another strategy that we use in order to drive community growth for projects, more on the organic side of things, is project-based collaborations. Very simple, very straightforward. There's nothing too much that needs to be expanded here. Reaching out to other projects, looking to get in front of their audiences by collaborating with that project in some capacity. So there's some more. I won't dive into in all those tactics in this video for the sake of time. What I also want to touch on here is the paid side of things. So how can you go about basically growing your project community using paid vehicles? So on the paid vehicle side of things, one really great option is Twitter ads. If you can get your account approved, Twitter ads, you can target specific people, you can retarget people, you can really get in front of who you're trying to appeal to, and it can be very effective for driving authentic audience members behind your project. There's tons and tons and tons of regulations when it comes to getting your project approved. It's an absolute headache. Don't get me wrong, but it's very possible if you get in touch with a Twitter representative, they can help you through the process. Again, I really recommend looking at this tool and investing in this tool. It's going to be great for the growth of your project. Another way is to do influencers. Everyone knows of influencers. There's two different types of influencers. What we call giveaway influencers. These are influencers that don't really have authentic audiences behind them. They might have either bots or actual people that all they care about is joining the next giveaway, getting involved in the next giveaway. They'll join your account, they'll follow your account, but they will not engage in your account. What we typically see is a 0.5 to 1% engagement rate on these individuals, and then a drop-off rate of around 10 to 40% after these individuals join that social account. One thing to be very aware of on the giveaway influencer side of things. Giveaway influencers, very simple, 48-hour giveaway, like, retweet, follow this account, turn on notifications. Basically, the less things that you require someone to do, the more followers you're going to get from this. Again, your engagement isn't going to go up with this. Keep that in mind. It's going to be very, very low. So if you grow to 10,000 followers, but you get 0 likes, 0 retweets, not the best situation. There's also what we call the authentic brand-based influencers. So these are people that have built a real name for themselves in the space. They put out value to their audience, and their audience cares and trusts their opinion. It is typically, unless you already have a relationship with, or you're working with an agency such as Omni Agency, Coinbound, Luna Strategy, Ninja Promo, all great marketing agencies in the space. Unless you're working with one of those agencies that have relationships for you to leverage, it's going to be harder to get in front of those individuals. You're going to need to send multiple outreaches to them. You're going to need to follow up consistently, and you're going to need to have a really good project behind your business that they're willing to get in front. Some of these individuals might have agents that you can work with, which are typically easier to get in contact with, but can be harder to secure a deal with. With those individuals, they can either be on a retweet-based relationship where they're just amplifying your content, or hopefully you can do some sort of giveaway with them or competition with them, something that incentivizes their followers to come follow your social account. Those brand-based influencers are a great way to grow an authentic audience base behind your project, and you're getting some great exposure from it. Although costly, they are costly indeed. So the next thing on the paid side of things are giveaways and airdrops. These, again, the quality of the followers that you gain from them aren't really there, but you can definitely drive quantity with these approaches. Airdrops are pretty straightforward and simple. If you haven't seen an airdrop before, opposed to me explaining it, just use the Twitter advanced search up airdrop, and you'll find tons of them, I'm sure of it. Take a look at what they've done. You usually set up a Telegram bot and you facilitate it in that manner. Those would be some of the most popular tactics when it comes to organic and paid growth for your social account. But what's also important for your social account is to have a brand behind it, giving people a reason to follow. This is most important to any of these activities that you're putting in place. Unless somebody has a real reason to follow your social account, engage in your content, stay up to date on your content, and participate in your project, then all of these tactics put in place, they're not going to work. They're simply not going to work. There needs to be a real reason. There needs to be consistency and congruency in your social account, and it needs to look terrific at the end of the day. That's why we recommend working with a robust social media community management agency like Omni Agency. We do a fantastic job at driving growth for projects. The main key performance indicators that our agency focuses on are community growth, community engagement, community conversions, the people that actually turn into customers at the end of the day. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we're giving away $2,000 worth of free value. There is a Google form in the description. Go check out that form. If you fill out that form, you'll be entered into a giveaway to potentially win a prize worth $2,000. We are hopping on a one-on-one consultation call with the winner of this giveaway. We're going to do a deep dive on their project. We're going to do a deep dive on their social channels, and we're going to create a social media strategy for them. based on where we think they should go with their community and how they should grow that community. If you found value from this video, leave a like, a comment. If you have any questions, leave that comment. We'll be getting back to all the comments, and let's go from there. Thanks, everyone. Bye.